we believe that for anybody to have a fulfilling life, you need to find your truth. You need to know what you are made for, what you are created to be doing. So like we often say, if you are a mango tree and you are trying to be an apple tree, you will be miserable no matter how much effort and energy you put into it. So it's about going deep inside yourself and knowing who you are and finding ways to express this truth. So this is the first of our pillars. We call it, it's about finding your truth and growing. This storytelling involves making a contribution. You living your life in such a way as to make a contribution and sharing what you have to others. So this is important because a lot of us, when we envision our life, we see ourselves as being successful, winning awards, making a lot of money, and so on and so forth. We see it more in terms of what we get. But our second pillar tells us, no, it's about making a contribution. No matter what skill you have, it's in what you bring that you will really find yourself and find happiness. So it was a big eye-opening experience joining Jacob and coming to know that through discussion with Jim, when he said, you know, when someone reaches his late into his life, the later part of his life, his biggest regret is that he will regret the things he thought and never went ahead and did. It's not the amount of money he lost and relationship and so on. It's about what are the things you wanted to do and never did. So this is what makes this third pillar very important. We find affirmation in the things we do. And it relates to our logo itself, which is about being focused and getting into action. So that's why, like a lot of us, when we do things, we want to make it perfect. We spend a lot of time in our own head trying to think how to make this perfect in the conception phase. We are afraid of what people will say if we make mistakes. If what we do is not that good, it will spoil our reputation and so on. The thing is, the core idea behind this is we believe that experience is the best teacher. So you may be reading 1,000 books. You won't learn as much as if you go out and do what you have to do and learn from it. This is a key point. Someone who has been living and doing, he will be learning much faster than somebody who has just been reading about things. So, for example, in Mauritius, we have, after the HSC, we have the laureates. There are students who have been studying and doing really well, and they are celebrated as heroes and so on. But the thing is, after your HSC, you have not done anything in your life apart from studying. There may be other students who have been going through a lot of struggles and so on, and they will be more advanced than someone who has just been studying and getting good marks. That's why this part, practical, is important. That's why we say experience is the best teacher. Once you start thinking of, you know what you want to do, you get the gist of what you have to do, you have to go out and do it. You have to stop finding excuses for not acting. Just go and do it. And it's about surviving with what you have in hand, the tools you have in hand, and doing. Good? This practical aspect takes into consideration something too, that all of us, we are on a timeline. We have we are in a timeline of learning. Obviously, when we start, we won't be doing that well, but we'll keep improving and doing until we get it. So this practical aspect has certain elements in it. It's not like, so we start by doing what we know, and we have to keep learning and have an inborn mechanism that gets us to learn from what we are doing and keep improving, and really wanting to be the best in what we are doing. So it's not just that we do things. No, we do and learn and grow. We do and learn and grow from it. So it requires attention to details. It requires challenging ourselves and not stopping at this and say, okay, this is all I know. It's about challenging and going further and further, being in a logic of constant learning. Most of us live our life with this amount of innocence. We are very innocent about life. We believe that the world outside is good. So we do things, and then we meet with people who are not so good towards us, who outthink us. And then we start thinking, okay, the world is good, but a few people are bad people. So what we do, we say, okay, we will keep our distance from these bad people, and then we'll try to make a living. And then we keep getting disappointed and disillusioned about life. Eventually, from a good person, we become a bad person or a bitter person. So at one point in our life, we need to realize that it doesn't work this way. No matter how good a person you are, no matter how skillful, talented, and so on. But there's a first requirement. We need to be street smart. Being street smart means to know how the world operates, what awaits us outside. Even if you're a flower, you're supposed to bloom and look beautiful and so on. You know that there are insects that will come and feed upon you and literally kill you. So the flower, what it does, it has spikes, it has research perfume to protect itself. So even the flower learns to protect itself. So we as individuals, we need to know what awaits us before we set out and prepare ourselves. This is about being street smart. So it's not just being good as against being bad, it's about being street smart, because this enables us to be good and to express our skills and so on. You see, this element is very, very important, and it makes a whole difference. As we live a life where we end up being bitter and thinking, hey, the world is there are a lot of bad people, or nowadays there are more and more bad people. It's not like this. Everybody is motivated by self-interest, and it's the way the world works. Good. I want to end on a personal example of something that when I was very practical. Good. So, like when I was very young, my father used to work every day of the week. And on Sundays, he used to listen, or Saturdays, he used to listen to horse racing, especially Sundays, because he was home in the afternoon. So we used to sit and listen to horse racing. Then with him, then one day I heard a horse, its name was Port-au-Prince. So when I was very young, this name, wow, that was good. It was a perfect name for a horse. So I started liking this horse. Then that horse, the years that followed, a new stable was created, and the horse was part of that stable. So I was so fond of this horse, I started following this stable. I was fond of this horse, of this stable, for 28 years. I never talked to anybody about it, never told anybody, not even my brothers, my mother, and so on. But for me, every time I used to open the newspaper, I would look at the horse racing page and see what the stables, the horses are doing, and so on. Even if I used to go to a wedding, I will make sure at the right time I listen to horses. Everywhere on Saturday, I will make sure. So it was, I never told anyone. And then one day, what happened is I read online that the stable is closing after 28 years. So suddenly I said, oh, I want to do something. I can't keep this inside of me. So then on the page, people were saying, what can we do, and so on and so forth. So I wrote, I want to do a banner for you. This, on Sunday, I really tried hard and remember the name of all the horses for that stable. I put it on a banner. There were like 150 names. I failed the banner completely, and I said, thank you, Mr. Budgajador. You gave me some of the best days in my life. Just that. So I got it printed on Sunday. I told my brother, I'm taking this with me. I don't know how this day will end. I'm bringing it to the Champ de Mars. I was entering the Champ de Mars. I got a phone call. It was a guy's daughter. She told me, hey, you said you'll do a banner. Were you able to do something? I said, yes, I'm in front of the Champ de Mars. She said, hey, you know, but I live next to Champ de Mars. Why don't you come and see my father? So I went there, knocked on the door with my banner here. Then one of her sisters opened the door, brought me inside the room, common room. I sat there. Then I saw the guy, Mr. Budgadador, host trainer for more than 20 years, 28 years I was fully. He came in his pajama and said, oh, sorry, you know I'm in pajama. I said, no, it's okay. No. So he said, hello, sit down and so on. I told him, I came to say thank you. He said, okay. I said, thank you, not for this weekend, not for this season, for the last 28 years. Then I opened this. Her daughter helped me open it. Then he saw the name of all the horses in it. Horses dating from some 25, 30 years. Like his eyes was filled with tears. And just like I said, this is probably the best gift I've ever got in my whole life. Then they started arguing, maybe we'll need to put it here and so on. So, well, listen. So, but he was expecting me to ask for some tips and so on. I never asked for anything. So later, I went back to the Champ de Mars. Her daughter told me, Nanda, maybe you can open it in front of people. It would be nice. I said, okay. But me, I was not expecting that much. I went there. So the racing day was going on. So I went there. There were a crowd of people. I went, I don't know how I got the courage. I said, okay. I said, hey, help me open this with you. The guy said, hey, I don't know this guy. He never gave me any tips. I was like, no, we are doing a good action. Please help me. So I went to somebody else. And so one guy started opening it with me. By that time, the race was already starting. Everybody left. I was left with my bundle here. So I put it here again like this. Then the daughter again came and told me, you were not able to open it. I said, no. Then suddenly I said, you know what? Go in front. If your horse wins this race, everybody will come in front. Then I will be able to open it. I said that. In that moment, I knew the horse will win. The moment I said it, I picked it up, I went in front. The race was starting, and the horse just went in front of everybody and went and won that race. So I came in front. Everybody was, wow, wow, wow. So I told them, please help me open this immediately. It was opened like automatically, like this. The guy, the horse racing stable was closing because the guy and his partner was not in good terms. When they came out, people started to say, wow, shouting and so on. Brought them closer and they took photos in front of this. So like, wow, it was a big moment and they became friends too again, like this. And the photo appeared in the magazine of MTC for their 200th anniversary of this photo. I did the banner and it appeared. So later, everybody left the banner here. I was standing and I had to pick it up. It became like a big ball like this in my hand. I was walking, everybody in the lodge was watching me. I was looking very strange with it. So like this, later when I went home, I said, I'm very tired, I'll take a taxi. I took a taxi. The guy told me, did you win anything today? I said, no, I didn't come to play. He said, why? Then I told him the story of the day I came for this guy and so on. Then when I reached home, I told him, how much for you? He said, how can I take your money? Oh, this guy came to the Champ de Mars to make money. You came to make a guy happy, and you were able to do it. This is too good. I can't take your money. I said, no, please. He said, no, you are God's gift to mankind, people like you. I said, okay. So it was a big moment. So later when I thought of that, I said, wow, how did I do that? How did I go in a crowd, get people to help me and pull a banner and things like that? So I realized that like when you have something in you, you get a lot of energy from it. So when you're faced with a possibility that either I do it or I live my whole life in regret, this is where the energy comes from. So that day it was that. I needed to express myself. Whatever, if they had told me to climb the mountain or do, I would have done it. I had it in me. So this is it. I think it's about digging inside you, connecting to emotions, things that are waiting to express themselves. So you have to get there.